Hello and good morning. Let's take a look at our bell work. Today is the 19th of October. So it's going to be week 2, quarter 2. All right, so let's take a look here. Well, what is an isosceles triangle? Well, an isosceles triangle has two sides congruent and base angles congruent. An equilateral triangle has all sides congruent and all angles are 60 degrees. Let's take a look at this one. This one right here is 90 degrees, so put a 90 right here because of that box. Every triangle adds up to 180, so subtract 180 minus 60 minus 90, I think that's 150. So this is 30 degrees. Excuse me. Now, you have to do Pythagoreans down here. So remember the L goes together. Okay? So here's your L, and I want you to color it. So those go together. So it's going to be 3 squared plus 4 squared equals y squared. 9 plus 16 equals 25. So y is the square root of 25, which is 5. It's a classic 3, 4, 5 right triangle. All right, put away your bell work. Let's take a look at this one. This one right here, this is an isosceles triangle. How do I know? Those two sides are equal. So these base angles down here are the same. So put a 50 here. 50 and 50 is 100. So this upper vertex angle, the eye of the pyramid, has to be 80 degrees. That's how you do that. Okay, so today you have a worksheet. And your worksheet looks like this. All right, so take a look at this one right here. You see how this is an equilateral triangle? All the sides are equal here. So this is 60. The angles are 60. This is an equilateral triangle, so all of these are 60s. This is 120, so the whole line is 180. So 120 and 180, that's going to make this 60. This is an equilateral triangle, so y is 60. This side is the same as that side. They both have one tick mark. So 4x is equal to 40. X is equal to 10 because 40 divided by 4 equals 10. Real simple. All right, if you get stuck on this worksheet, ask for help. Try to be creative. Like, take a look at this one right here. This angle right here is 148. So this one's got to be 32. It's an isosceles triangle, so this one has to be equal to this one. So you would take 180 minus 32, and whatever you get, you split it in half, and you got those two. So try to be creative on this worksheet. Let's turn our attention now to MCR. All right, parents, MCR, okay, not geometry. These are the 4 rules right here. Let's talk about this. When you have the same base and you multiply, you add exponents. This one is a power to a power, so you multiply. This one is division, so you subtract. This one, everything is going to get a z, so it's going to be m to the y times z, and then n to the x times z. All right? Copy down those two. All right, so the difference here is all of this is to the negative power, so I'm going to push all of that down. So it becomes 2x squared to the 4th power like that. So now everything inside here gets a 4. So it's going to be 1 over 2 to the 4th power, and x2 to the 4th power, you got to multiply that. Well, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that's 4, times 2 is 8, that's 16. So it's going to be 1 over 16. A power to a power is going to be x to the 8th power, and that's your answer. This one right here, only the x is to the negative. So the 2 stays on top. And there it is. Copy down these two. All right, so here you're going to multiply your numbers. 4 times 3 is going to give you 12. A to the third and a to the negative 4. When you add that up, you get a to the negative 1 because you have more negatives. When you add up your b's, you get b to the negative 1. Well, you can't have a negative, so these two are going to be dropped down. So it's going to be 12 over ab. This one right here, you can't reduce 2 over 3, so just leave it as 2 over 3. This one, you have more x's at the top. So you have 2 more at the top. This one, let me think about this. If you bring this up right here, this becomes a plus 3. That's still going to give you y to the negative 1, and then you're going to have to drop that down. If you bring this one up, that gives you a negative 4 because it changes, the sign changes. So that gives you z to the negative 7. So your final answer should be 2 over 3. The y, x squared, you want that. This and this drop down, so it's going to be y to the first power and z to the 7th power. And you don't really need to put the 1 there. Okay, so think about it. Do you have more at the top or more at the bottom? And the sign changes when you go up or down. Here's your work for today. If you get stuck, ask questions. I do want the laws of exponents, and I want you to show me some work. So if you just put some answers, I'm not going to give you credit. I want to see this. 2 times 2 is 4. M to the second. You're going to add up 2 plus 3 here. So you're going to get 4m to the 5th power. That's what I want to see, is some kind of work. Okay? It's on Canvas. Here it is. Next week, you will have a test. Is the plan. Okay, have a good morning.